Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Heidi, and in this video, I'm gonna talk about my October TBR list. So while I'm filming this, I am in September, and this is probably going to be uploaded in October. I didn't realize how quickly October was coming up. So this is just going to be a quick video just talking about the books I hope to read for the next month. So normally I'm just a mood reader and I don't create TBR lists, but these are books I want to be able to get to for the next month. So the first book on my list is a Stephen King book, Pet Sematary. I wanted to read this book last year in October, just for like spooky season. Last year I didn't read this, I read Misery by Stephen King. I didn't end up getting to this, and throughout the year I just kept looking at it on my bookshelf, thinking I was gonna read it, but just saving, I'll just wait till October for like scary season. So I don't know much about this book. I just know there's Pet Sematary, that's it. I don't know anything about this book. I know my sister really wants me to just read this so we can watch the movie together. So once we're done, we're probably just gonna watch the movie. So I'm pretty excited about that. Next book I want to read isn't like a spooky book, but it is something I just want to finish, and that is House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I read this a few months ago. I started reading this a few months ago. I didn't end up finishing it. This was towards the time when everyone was in quarantine and we were all stuck at home. So I started reading this, and actually when quarantine started, I thought I was gonna read so much books at that time, but I ended up really slowing down on my reading, mainly because I was like playing Animal Crossing all the time. So I didn't read a ton while I was in quarantine. I was just like Animal Crossing. It was like my day job at that point. So I started reading this, and I don't know. I just wasn't into it for the first few chapters, but I did pick it back up this month. I started reading, I think I'm like page like 200 something, and I'm really excited to keep going. I don't know why I stopped, but I'm gonna keep going, and I want to finish this for the next month. So this book kind of follows a kind of like a murder mystery, I'd say, is the vibes I kind of got from it from the beginning. There was a murder, and the main character is required to solve the mystery of who has done this killing, and maybe killing some more. I'm pretty excited. I love usually like murder mystery, whodunit kind of stories, and just knowing the author and knowing there's going to be tons of fantasy elements in this book. I'm really excited to see how it's gonna go. Normally in fantasy, I'm used to a lot of like, you know, more like sword. There's not a lot of guns when it comes to fantasy, and I think there's some like guns, and like she pulled out a cell phone, and it was kind of taken back for me because I'm not used to like modern technology in fantasy books. So this is really interesting. There's also angels in this book, and so I'm interested to see where it's gonna go. I'm not used to reading fantasy like that, but I'm excited to get into more of that kind of element. This is also the author's first adult fantasy book. It's really exciting to see her going into adult fantasy while I'm also trying to get myself into reading adult fantasy books. This book is also really heavy. There's like, I think it's 800 pages, and like it doesn't look like an 800-page book, but I feel like the pages are so super thin. So, and she also, every time she comes out with a new book, there's like the next book following that is always like so much longer, and it gets longer and longer through every book. So I'm wondering, like, is the next book gonna be 1,000 and then 2,000? Like, I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty excited. Hope I really like it in the end. Another book I really want to get into for the next month or really soon is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. I read the Serpent and Dove last year, pretty soon after it was released. I just heard that it was about a witch that is running away from something. Something is chasing her, and she's trying to escape. And I thought I was really intrigued by that type of story. I thought it would be kind of spooky and adventurous. It kind of felt like a fantasy romance YA novel, but it still was really fun to read when I read Serpent and Dove. So I'm really excited to continue with the story and see where it goes with this one. I'm a little nervous if I'll like, or if this one will be just as good. I have high hopes for it, so I'm really excited for this one. I forgot that this was being released this year, and then I just started seeing so many pictures all over Instagram, so I was like, oh, I gotta, so I actually got this on the weekend, so I'm really excited to get started on this one. And the last book I want to read for October is Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and illustrated by Fiona Staples. So I know nothing about this graphic novel. I normally don't pick up graphic novels. I've seen this everywhere, so I'm really excited to get into it. I kind of flipped through some of the pages. The artwork looks amazing, so I'm really excited to see how this goes. I know it has to do with, I think they're in space, and it's going to be some fantasy. It's going to be like a fantasy type of story, so I'm really excited to see if I'll enjoy it. I just bought the first volume. I think what I saw when I searched online, I think there are 10 volumes, or there's going to be 10 volumes. I'm not too sure. What I normally do is when I don't know much about a series, or I don't know if I'll like it, or maybe I think I will like it, I usually end up just buying the first book or the first volume just to see how it goes. If I really end up liking this, I might end up buying all the volumes, or as much as I can, just so I can binge it if I'm really into it. So we'll see how I like it. If I like it, I'll probably do just that. So it's not a ton of books I put on my TBR list. Normally I don't like to put too much, just to put myself down at the end and not being able to get to that. I think about 4 books is a good range for me to read in 1 month, especially when I'm working as well. A lot of times when I'm reading a ton of books, it's mainly me listening to the audiobooks as well. So it helps me get through some books while doing chores around the house, or you know, going to work and all that. So that's my spooky-ish TBR for October. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've read these books already, if you like them, or if these are the books that you are hoping to read in the future as well. Also, let me know what your TBR is for October. Thanks for watching again. We'll see you later. Bye.